Hello, everybody. We are back for the final round of marketing reviews. Again, brought to you by my new 90-minute marketing intensive, where we help you, me, myself, and other versions of Feral Fiona that might show up, help you just define one offer, one booking path, and making sure that your website supports both. So then you can replicate that process to other offers if you have more than one. But the goal is to give you a really good foundational education and process around those two things. Also, right now, I'm doing $50 off that offer if you give me feedback on the offer, because I always like to make sure that the offer is working in the beginning. So I'll put a little code in here, and for a few limited people, if the code's still available, it's still available to snag. For $50 off. It's normally $300, so that would put it $250, which is a pretty good deal to have someone look over all your marketing, which can be really overwhelming. Okay, so we are starting off. If you're new to the series, the process is simple. I'm starting on the Instagram, trying to figure out what the seasonal offer is, and then I'm going from the Instagram to the website to see if there's a good flow. That's basically what we're doing. I'm operating through the lens of a local mom in the town where this person is. So we're starting off with Kathleen Williams Photography, who I personally love to chat with on Instagram. Okay, so she says, Kathleen Williams, family newborn photographer, Everett, Washington. So that means that I am operating as an Everett mom looking at her offers. Her bio says family, newborn, maternity, fresh 48, playful and love-filled photos with your favorite people in the world. Okay, so going down, we have a pin post that says, okay, this is going to be good. I love, she has 3 pin posts. Clear text overlay. First one, who I am. And it's a picture of her and it talks about her. Yay. So we get to meet her. Next pin post, more clear text, who I photograph. And then it goes through her. Okay, it says people who love fully, families in their real season, stories growing into each other, memories that feel lived in, mothers in the middle of it all. If this feels like you, will work well together. So that's like a carousel post. So it says that text on there. Third pin post, why my work matters. And then it says because being seen changes how we remember, because memory fades before we expect it to, because it's worth preserving a moment that feels like us, because ordinary moments become everything, because love deserves proof, because because I added the because. I promise you there are days you'll want to remember. So then she says emotional tug at what she is offering. Okay, so now that I love. I think that's awesome. The only thing missing at the top is what I'm booking now. So you could, if she wanted to switch it up to be more clear, she could kind of morph who I photograph and why it matters into one, and then have the third pin post be what I'm booking now. Okay, and then the next post, we're just doing on Instagram just a few posts, because that's how the average person is going to experience. For some reason, my wrist is clicking, so sorry if you can hear that. Okay, so it says there's a little kid, and it's just a single image of a kid. Next one is, this is what it feels like if you include the grandparents. And then the first offer we have is Kids Being Kids, March 21st. So this is the offer that we are going to see has flow throughout the brand, okay? So let me see the first time it was mentioned. Okay, so she has Christmas, then she had family minis, and then those were live. And then she said, the first post I see, February 11th, it says, have you heard Kids Being Kids are back, March 21st. So February 21st, she's about 5 weeks out from the event is when she started the promotion process. And I'm assuming she's also communicating with her email list. Okay, and then we have another post on February 20th, and then we have another post on February 24th. So it's on the feed 3 times. Oh, there's another one here. It's a reel. No, that's for Family Minis Day. Okay, so that was her account of Family Minis Day. So who I am right now is an Everett mom interested in booking the Kids Being Kids minis. So I'm going to go to her link, which is a link tree. Top choice, Kids Being Kids. So I'm going to click right through to it because that's what I'm interested in. It's a info page. So it says emotion-packed natural photos full of personality, because this is what it's all about. And then it's kids being kids with like an it's like an overlay text with a kid behind the text, which is kind of fun. So it says, imagine the photos of your child that make you say this is so them. And then it says coming March 21st, 2006, book your session. And then there's all this information. It looks like these are black and white portraits. So it has, let's see, I'm just going to count the number of images, because I think sometimes like going through these, this is like the lack of images is kind of clear once you count them. So we have one like adorable child in glasses. He's really big. And below him are 2 reviews. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you keep going down at the bottom, there's one more little girl. So we've showcased on this info page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images. I would add more for sure. In the middle of these images, it has the details. So it's, the pricing, the amount of time, all the information. So then let's go down to the bottom. I would love, again, to have this be way more images, because I'm assuming she's done these before, has them there, and like the more you show, the more chance that someone could connect with an image and be like, ooh, that is something I want to do with my kids. So if we go to Kids Being Kids, it goes to the use session booking page. So it's the same sort of information, like any boundary she has around it, that sort of thing. Now this has what should my child wear, suggestions. This is I don't know if you can add images on this page. My guess would be no, but I don't know. All of this text, which goes through a lot of text. What should I wear? What should I avoid? What are some accessories I should bring? And then it goes through the different packages, and then you can choose your day. So I would add a lot of this helpful text over onto the info page, and have the info page be where people can just hang out and learn and see images at the same time to build trust with this offer. So that would be my suggestion. The booking page looks good. Throughout this process, what's missing, that besides that pin post on Instagram, is information about Kathleen herself. And so anytime you have an info page, I would just add in something about your process or about you, because it will stop them from going to find that page, because they're trying to build a little bit more trust. Okay, second part of this test is we are coming in through the home page to see if we can find these sessions. So we've got the homepage. It's a really cute image of a snuggly family. And then it says playful and love-filled family photos with your favorite people in the world. That seems to be her tagline, and I love it. We've got a picture of her. Hi, I'm Kathleen. Scrolling down, we have lots of very cohesive imagery, no problem with editing. We have reviews, we have links to galleries, we have links to the blog. However, nothing on the homepage about these kids being kids. So again, if you can have a permanent spot, if you're doing a seasonal offer, on the homepage. So up at the top, it's in the menu. So I just went to it, and that took me to this info page where the main thing I want is more images, just to build trust fully. So really good overall. That's a really clear path. If you compare listening to the past weeks, if we've had a seasonal offer, the clarity of getting from Instagram to the info page to booking is like a straight shot. Now from the actual homepage to Kids Being Kids is missing a little bit. I would just put something on your homepage about your seasonal offer. That would be my suggestion. Okay, we are moving on. Let me close out my tab so I don't get myself confused, which is something that can happen to me. The next one is Tiffany Robbins Photography. So Pensacola family photographer. So again, now I'm operating as a Pensacola mom, and I'm going to try to figure out what she's booking. So no pin post here, which I do believe is a really helpful thing to have. So I'm just going to peek through the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 and see if I can find a seasonal offer. And if I can't, we'll go with what she mostly posts. Okay, so we've got a maternity, we've got a family, we've got looks like a couple, we've got in-home newborn, we have another maternity, we have another newborn, we have a mom and kiddo, and we have another maternity. So I'm going to lean towards maternity. So we are operating as a pregnant mother in Pensacola, Florida. All right. So there's no text overlay. There's no information on the Instagram in terms of like what she's booking. So let's just say that I scrolled through here and I was like, okay, I like her. I'm finding her on Instagram. I like her maternity. I'm going to click through to her website. So I go to her session link and here are the options. Join my email list, view session packages, send an inquiry, website, Facebook, Instagram, petite sessions, garden mini sessions, beach mini, spring garden sessions, and spring VW park sessions. So because you have so many seasonal offerings that are actually hiding in this link tree, I would create a pin post that's currently booking these seasonal offers or these seasonal, it looks like a lot of them are minis. So I would just create a container for all of them so people can peek through and learn about them. Okay, so because there's so many options, this is a tricky one. Let me go through one of these I'll do the Eden garden mini. No, I'm going to do the spring garden sessions. So it says 4 spots left. So I'm going to click through because I want to see where it goes. Okay. So it goes to an info page that's through session. So it says promo photos coming soon. Date is April 25th, length 20 minutes, and then it has the opportunity to book. So I'm assuming that once she has the promo photos, she'll build out a better info page because at this point in time, I would guess people wouldn't book that because there's no images and there's just information unless they had super high trust with her. Okay, and then we have I'm just going through a few mini sessions here. We have pink VW mini sessions and it's like a pink bus, and then that's happening on May 9th. So she definitely does have seasonal offers, but it's not clear on her Instagram. So we're going to go to the website. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Oh, the website, is it the right URL? Hold on. The website from the link tree is not opening. Maybe the website itself isn't opening. No. Okay, we don't have a website link. So definitely fix that. If you do have, oh wait, we went somewhere else. Family work. Wait, okay. Yeah, definitely fix that because as of now, I don't see. Let's see. Sorry, I got myself lost. Okay, I'm going back to the link tree. Okay, view packages and send an inquiry. We'll go there. Okay, so this seems to be like an overall booking page from session, and it says Emerald Coast Family and Motherhood Photographer, and then it says, hi, I'm Tiffany, and then it says, here's my offers, and here's where it has petite session, Eden garden minis, beach minis, the spring garden sessions, spring VW sessions, and then winter mini sessions and sunset. I'm assuming the winter minis, let's see the dates on those. Pensacola, Florida. So those are like any date all the way through March and April and May. So that particular one is a little bit confusing. Okay, I feel like what's happening here is this person is either redoing their website or they're trying to have just this session page. I'm not sure which it is. There's just not enough available information to build trust with these mini sessions. If I'm coming in from, first of all, because there's no website, I'm not sure if you're findable from Google. But if you have good SEO for Instagram, which is a thing, definitely there's photographers I mentor who their SEO comes from Google through Instagram. There's just not enough information about these because the garden mini sessions, unless I have high trust with you, I'm not just by seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 images and information about the sessions and the ability to book. I'm not seeing anything about you, no pictures of you, nothing about your process. So I understand kind of what's going, it's like, we'll just build out these mini, pages, but like as a potential client, I'm wanting more. If I'm a maternity client, which is how I originally came into this, I'm pretty lost because my options are sunset session or sunrise session, but there's no maternity images featured in the tiny promo pages for each of those. Sorry. Let's see. My mom just texted me. Okay, sunset session, same thing, no maternity. So this is a situation where we have a lot of offers and not a lot of trust has the ability to be built because there's no website. So if I were to build out the website for this person, it would be a homepage. Obviously, many of the sessions are very, very, cohesive because they're all on the beach. That's the majority, except the seasonal offers. So I would have it be outdoor work, sunset, sunrise, and then seasonal offers. And then you'd have your seasonal offers listed throughout your homepage. So it's like kind of like two businesses living different lives. We have a person who's offering a lot of seasonal offers, but they're not really visible on the Instagram. And then there's no way beyond the session info pages to find out more about them. So I would just work on creating, even if it's a simple website, I don't think that Session that has enough availability unless you're going to make it a one-page sales page where you're adding in a picture of you, your process, a bunch of helpful stuff. I just feel like you're leaving the ability for someone to build trust with your brand on the table. So no issue with cohesiveness. The editing is beautiful. The locations are great. Everything goes together really well, but I do think that trust is being left off the table because there's no container for these interested people to go. Okay, we're going to keep moving on. The next one was actually somebody who submitted, but they photograph, from what I could tell, like cars. And I am not the one for you. There was also another photographer, Mary. If you put in your wedding, I wasn't going to do any wedding websites because weddings are just a completely different animal. So those two I did skip because I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about car people, and I don't know who gets their car photographed. I know people do. I just don't know how to like build trust with those people. So next is Holly Ann Co. Holly Smith, Atlanta photographer. Okay, so we are on the Instagram. So we are now an Atlanta mom. Okay, so her bio says finding beauty in the chaos, film photographer serving couples and family in Atlanta, and then she has 2 hashtags. I don't know that hashtags in the bio, I think they might just be eating up space. I'd much rather learn a little bit more about your process or even what you're booking in that bio. Okay, so we're going to take a peek through and see off the top if there's any clear indication of what she is currently booking. So we have a baby foot, we have a wedding, we have some more babies, we have maternity, we have another wedding, we have flowers, and we have more babies. So I'm going to click on the flower ones because I want to see what it's just a photo of flowers. Okay, let's see. So newborn. So I'm just in these top 8. When it's not a clear offer, I am just going to pick the most documented thing, which in this case is basically kiddos/newborn. Okay, so we're going to operate trying to book Holly as a newborn potential client. Okay, so we're going to go to the Linktree, which is a bio site, which is another option. Okay, here it says on the Linktree, it says spring petite sessions available. Not known from the Instagram, but we're going to go over here and click it because I want to see, because I'm a nosy little lady. So it goes to a Sprout Studio booking page and it says 20 minutes taken outdoor farmhouse vibes in Moreland, Georgia. And then it says on film only if you want a grainy, authentic, timeless look. So this is a huge missing trust point because I potentially could want to know more about this film option, but I'm on this very truncated info page, like booking page that has really no images. And then the next thing it does is bump me to the date, to choose a date. So if you've been listening all this time, do I have enough trust yet? No, I have no container to build trust around the seasonal spring minis. So we want to mention them on the Instagram and we want to create a better place to learn about them. So now we're going to do 2 things. We're going to go on the website and we're going to see if we can find anything out about the spring petite sessions. And we're also going to try to see if we can build trust coming from a newborn point of view. So the next option on the drop down of like her links is family work. And then the next one below that is wedding experience. So even though 3 of her 8 images on Instagram are newborn, there's no particular newborn call out, but we're going to go to family, which goes to her homepage. So it says Atlanta newborn and family photographer, and then it has like a slideshow of images, and then it says, and then we're going down and there's more images. And it has text, come as you are for the days you'd swore you'd never forget, printed forever, learn more. Now here, I want to point this out because clarity is queen, okay? So if I see text that says, come as you are for the days you swore you'd never forget, printed forever, learn more, what am I learning about? If I click this button and I'm taken away from this homepage, I think it'd be more clear. I want to see where that goes. Hang with me here. It goes to her offerings. So I would just have this button, instead of saying learn more, have it say current offerings. It's just so much more clear in terms of the path. Okay, then we have quick links, portfolio offerings, inquire. We scroll down and we see her beautiful picture of her in a chair, like the farmy vibe. Very good. Okay. Going down, and it has where she's been featured, and then it has featured galleries. So it says Atlanta motherhood photo session, maternity photography. She has a nostalgic family session at home and another newborn family. We have some reviews, and then we have a join in the community, special access to travel, special events, mama pick me up tips and discounts. Don't worry, I hate spammy emails. So if you wanted to be someone who is actively growing this email list, I'm not sure how many people sign up to this particular opt-in, but I would make it very clear exactly what they're going to get. Like join now and get X. Kind of, if you want someone's email address, we have to use a little bit of sales language. Okay, so I am looking now. Her menu item is 2 lines at the very right hand corner. I almost missed it because when I scrolled down even 1 millimeter, it went away. So that type of menu can be kind of tricky. But I went to it, and you might want to fix the image here because it's a small stack of fruit. I don't know that I think it might have just been the image that is like there for your website, but it's like 2 pears stacked and then a lemon on top. I'm sorry. I'm not just the saying that out loud makes you laugh, but it's obviously just a placer image. I would just fix it. Okay, so I'm this newborn mom, and I'm like, okay, where do I go? Here are my options: home, about, offerings, portfolio, contact, blog. So I'm going to go to offerings, and here it says, I'm here to honor your story just as it is. And this banner image here is like, appears to be sort of a newborn session. Okay, so here it says newborn and family sessions, starting at her starting price, and then it says book now. Scrolling down, and there is some information. It's like baby toes and then some printed newborn art. And then it says how it works: connect through the contact form or by emailing me. Here's your prep, your images, your artwork delivery. Your session includes wardrobe styling for the whole family, location planning, lifetime quality on artwork, option to add hair and makeup. These are all information I want more information about. These tidbits of information, I want more. Wardrobe styling assistance for the whole family is huge, needs its own chunk of text. Location planning or access to studio. What studio? I want to know about it. What else? Lifetime quality on artwork, frames, photos, and prints. You have some images in here about artwork, but it's not like, how does it work? How do I get these albums? Like, I would, if that's part of your, how you make money, I would definitely add something on. Option to add on hair and makeup. I want to know more about that. Where does it go if I click learn more? Okay, if I click learn more, it just goes to her contact. I would just add more details in there. Now, at the bottom, it goes to view wedding services. So it kind of takes you to a wedding page. Again, what I want here is like, just my instinct is I need for my soul a newborn page, because I just feel like you have a lot to say about newborns that I could build trust with and learn more about, even in the art section. So in her printed, she has this, it's like a family, and there's 4 images that are printed, and it's a newborn session. So you could see how if it was like information about styling, information about prints, information about studio or in-home, what do we wear? Like, there's so much information that's missing, and the call to action is to email her. But I'm guessing that she would rather I not have to email her about every little question, and instead be able to hang out on this trust building page. Okay, so let's say let me go back. Oh, I landed up back at the pear photo, and now I can't get out here. There we go. Okay. So nope, I didn't go. I'm back on this page now. Hold on. I got myself a little lost. There we go. Okay. So I'm scrolling down to where I saw that booking for the newborn. So book now takes me to the contact form, which is fine. But I feel like you will have more conversions if you have a container for people to build trust with you. And I would just, your site is slightly confusing with the way the menu is set up. I would have an actual physical menu at the top that's a little bit easier to find. There is a menu at the bottom, but at the top, I would just, beyond just these 2 lines, I would just add actual text. Again, we want to assume people are new to the planet. They don't know how websites work. We want to make the paths as simple as possible, meaning that there's also no, okay, hold on, home. Okay, there's also no like direct call to action of exactly what you're booking on your homepage. If you do have something specific, I just like everyone else, I would add it there. So you have lots of information and you have lots of cohesive imagery and you have good text. It's just there's not a clear path from me as a potential newborn mom to build trust. Because like in the blog post, you have so many beautiful images. I would just love to see a lot of these blog post images put onto an info page. Also, at the bottom of your blog post that I opened on newborn, there's no call to action. So there's like a tiny thing where it says, get to know more about me or send me an inquiry. I would just be like something very specific, like ready to book your newborn session. Here's how you do it. And add in at the bottom of your blog post what the process is. Because you have to think about who's viewing the content. Somebody who's on your blog looking at your newborn sessions is likely somebody who's interested in booking a newborn session. So like for me, I use Acuity for my booking simply because of the versatility, new words are being formed every day here on this podcast, there's so many different link options. So if it's a maternity session, I will embed my booking link into my blog post. So they do not even, if they have built enough trust in that blog post about maternity, they can go ahead and book right at the bottom. So it's a super clear call to action that I find is missing for majority of blog posts. So if you're somebody who's writing a blog post without a call to action, definitely add one at the bottom. Okay, let me close these out before I start making up even more weird words. So sorry. Webster's Dictionary is going to contact me and be like, ma'am, we heard that you say weird stuff. Okay, they're definitely not. Next, we have Devin Michelle. So she has Pacific Northwest family photographer, film photographer, Tacoma, Puyallup, Gig Harbor, University Place. Fun fact, I grew up in Gig Harbor, so maybe I'll try to look through these and see if it's anyone I went to high school with. You know how you can't enter your hometown without seeing someone you went to high school with? That has been true exclusively for me. If I just set one baby toe into Gig Harbor, I'm like, oh, there's 7 people I went to high school with. How is it happening? Okay, so let's take a peek through her top 8 here and see if we can see what she's booking. So we have a family session. We have a newborn session. We have a it looks like a family session, but it's like a pottery. It's like they're at their farm. We have a like older kiddo, like a baby session. And then we're back to, this looks like a Christmas session on January 30th, which is fine. But I would assume that this session with the Christmas tree in the background, let me just click through it. So yeah, it's definitely a holiday. It's a holiday / maternity. But I see that a lot where photographers are almost playing catch up on galleries on their Instagram, and the things they're showcasing are things that they are no longer a booking. So she's talking about studio sessions in this case, but the Christmas theme throws me off a little bit. And if you scroll through this, there are images in here that have nothing to do with the Christmas tree. There's like plenty of images not featuring the tree. So just because if I was a potential client, I might not click on that and read the caption because I would assume it would be about a Christmas session. So I would just switch out if you're talking about studio and just have no Christmas tree there. Okay, let me keep going. Let's see. We have a couple, and then we have, what is this? Oh, her own Christmas card, and then we have a Santa card. So we have nothing clear about exactly what she's posting now, so we're going to go through the top 8 and see what we see the most. It looks like we just see family. Family's taking the cake, so that's the way we're going to try to experience the brand. Okay, we're going to the link tree. Okay, we have 2 links available. We have petite holiday sessions. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that these are no longer happening because they're Christmas card petite sessions, 75 for 10 minutes, make your holidays merry and easy, and we're booking into March 2026. So my guess would be that that's just a link that needs to be updated. So we're going to scoot back on out of here, and we are going to see this that says check out the latest, and it goes to a bio site, which has options to click and learn more about different types of sessions. So it looks like the first option is Santa. So we'll probably want to remove him off of there. Next one is, I think, her homepage. And then we have 2025 fall mini session dates, which I also assume are past. And then we have book a session, client gallery, favorite things, and then no call to action, but a sign up for a newsletter. So because we're operating from a family, we're going to skip over Santa and go to her website. Okay, now we are on her website. So we have good banner images. They're very cohesive. It's a family outside. So if I'm a family, I'm like, okay, I'm where I want to be, right? A photography experience your family will enjoy. Very simple. Call like that. This is what we want. And then it says, I can't wait to meet you. And then there's a book your session button. And then she talks about her experience, more than 15 years of working with families. She talks about living in the Pacific Northwest. There's an intro post to her. It's her family, very beautiful, very cohesive. And then we have the photo journal, which is blog posts. And then we go down and it's another image that's cohesive with everything else. Let's start planning your perfect session, before your session, after your session, and both of those are links. Okay, so as a family, I'm trying to decide where I want to go. So let's go to before your session. So if I click that, it goes to before your session, explore your reasons. This can help your family decide how to best to prepare, be comfortable, color coordination, creative layering, brand labels, hair and makeup, location and timing, book your session. There are no images on this page. I like the idea of this kind of flow, but the issue is, so I'm on the before your session page. There's no images, but there's a lot of opportunity for images. So you would say like color coordination, show me. Creative layering, what does that mean? Let's talk about hair and makeup. Yes, I want to know why I should or shouldn't do it. Location and timing, show me the locations, show me the timing. I want to know. So you have the text, which is the part that a lot of people don't have. They have the images, they don't have the explanation text. You have that, just add lots of images in. My next step here is book your session. So I'm going to click that and see where it takes me, and it takes me to a contact form. Now, it says there's 2 options. There's a contact form or a book now button. So I click the book now button and I go to the shoot proof page, which is let's get your 2026 session booked. All these sessions take place around Pierce County. Once you book, I'll send styling tips and location details. And then it has her availability. So there looks like there's 2 morning options and 2 afternoon options. So they're not separated by, this is what I was kind of talking about when I was saying that there's one online booking page and it's kind of for all images, is kind of like for all session types. Because let me see, if I was a newborn client, I might be a little lost here. I'm a family client, so I could choose one of those 2 options and book with you, but you have this other tab that's on the homepage that says after your session. And when I click on that one, I learn about, let's see, the timeline for image delivery, retouching, opening and downloading your gallery, sharing your photos, physical prints, photo books, and printed cards. Like, it's all about how you help them print. If I followed that original path of before your session to book, I totally missed this page. So that's why, I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say. I want there to be an info page. I just want it to be one simple place where I can learn everything I need to know about booking a family session, or everything I need to know about booking a newborn session. If I click the session information page, it goes to portrait session information, and then here's some possible, It says family portrait sessions, senior portrait sessions, family centered newborn, mini session events, event photography. So I'm going to click on family portrait sessions and see where it's at. Okay, here we have a family info page. So you have all of this here. It's just not, it's just confusing to get to. So instead of session information, have it be session types and the drop down say family. And then let's see if you've built out info pages for all of these. Here's the senior one. Yes, you've built out the senior one. These should also be these, you're going to know what I'm saying, but all of these images with text that explain on the homepage, sending people from the homepage exactly where they need to go, because you do have these really well curated, super helpful info pages, and they're hidden in a little bit of a confusing menu situation. All of these pages could use a few more images, I would say, but this is like really helpful that you've done, but it's just not quite clear how to get here. So what her top menu says is about. The next one is journal. That is a confusing word for the lay human. I would change it to be recent sessions or blog, because those are the two that people understand. Journal, it almost am I going to be reading your innermost thoughts? I don't know. Session information, literally could be thinking that's a boring fact page, when in fact it's the meat of the entire website. So change it to session types and have drop downs to each of these info pages that you've worked so hard to make. Extras is client galleries, portfolio shop, favorite things, resources. So you can keep that there. Most people, what you'll want them to do is go to this information session type and then go to each individual page. On your homepage, you would say, instead of saying, where you say working with families, say family info page, and you link right over to that page. Scrolling down, newborns, learn more about newborns, newborn info page, and they go right there. So right off the top, seniors, they're going here. You're separating everybody out, because in terms of being a senior at this point, if I'm on this blog, I'm confused about where I find more information about seniors unless I go into that session information. Just make it so incredibly clear, so clear that an 89-year-old person could go onto your homepage and be like, there's where I book a senior session for my great-great-grandchild. That's the vibe. We want it to be incredibly clear. Okay, really quick, I want to back up to this bio site. Okay, so if you keep this bio site where it's like images and links, you could use your session types as individual pages. So you could have families book here, newborns book here, and it goes to the info pages from your bio site. From your actual Instagram, the links, I would just take out this petite holiday session, one, because you already did it, but you have a link tree, so you don't need to link anywhere else. You just need to send them to the link tree. I think sometimes the double links with one of them going to a link tree can get a little bit confusing. I use, what is it called? Linktree. Oh my God, they're not all called Linktree. I use the one that is called Linktree, and they have really updated some of their Linktrees to be very, very user friendly. So when I click on mine, for example, which you guys can go and do if you want to see, I have my photography marketing help at the top, and it's 3 links: one-on-one marketing, family membership, and the podcast. And then I have photography sessions, and they're all broken out with an image. So it says image, local family sessions, maternity sessions, adventure family, studio sessions, and newborn sessions, and senior sessions. And it's a horizontal scroll, so you can just click until you get what you want. So that is a very user-friendly type link environment. I see some un-user-friendly type link environments when I'm on these, and one of the major ones is keeping that Facebook link in there if you don't need it. Another one is having one link to something and then the other link to a link tree, so then you're clicking to the link tree and there's more links, and then you have links coming out your wazoo. Okay, so we want to be really I'm hitting the time where the brain stops. We want to be so clear. Clear, as clear as you can be. Language is clear. What exactly is the menu item? What is it going to tell us, and how do we get from here to there? Okay, so we have concluded our marketing reviews for spring. I hope all of you are kind of looking through your own marketing with new eyes in terms of clarity from the booking paths, from discovery, someone discovering you, to building trust with you, to eventually ending up on your calendar. I just want you to really think about how to make it as clear as possible. Things we learned that we can stop worrying about: cohesion of the home feed of Instagram. We do not need it to look perfect. We need it to be clear, informational, and directive. So having text overlays as a user is way better than opting for the more beautiful, like, reel cover that has no information. The other thing that I noticed on a few is do not have an unrelated link cover for your reel, or cover photo for your reel. That is a major trust breaker. People want to click in and see the thing that they thought they were going to see. So if you have information about your spring minis hidden behind just like a random image that is really pretty, instead have that reel overlay literally say, spring mini information. I know that you may be resistant to the text, but it is so much better on the user experience front. So again, if you want to go through your website and your Instagram and get an offer figured out and get a booking path figured out and make sure your cohesion is on point, because the number of potential bookings that are left on the table due to confusion are so much higher than I think a lot of people are aware. And in the day and age that we are now, where attention is limited, where we're heading into a possible economic recession, your business and your booking path needs to be extremely clear. If you're somebody who's burnt out on social media, we can figure out another type of booking path that'll work better for you. So take advantage of the $50 off. I don't know how many people will get that, but I can't do it for everyone. So if you want one, snag one. It'll be in the show notes. Thank you guys all. I want to thank everyone who's brave enough to put their website forward. I apologize to Petra and Mary, whose websites I didn't get to just because they feature wedding and cars. But everyone else, you're so brave. Everyone's doing amazing. I literally love seeing all of your beautiful work and the time and energy that you've put into gaining visibility. I know how emotional that can be. I know how frustrating it can be when you're putting a lot of energy in and you're not getting bookings. And so any clarity we can add, I know, is so vital. And I am here to help you if you need help. Okay, hope you have a good week.